Okay, we're recording. So I haven't been on in a couple days. Had a few, things to, going on. So I didn't get back on. I blew up my knee, so I've been dealing with that too. Hurts still, but it's healing. Uh, a couple things I had to deal with, but I did make a recording like the other night on the third assassination attempt of Donald Trump, which is really it's like the fifth or sixth. I think I went through all that, but this guy says he didn't do it, and I believe him. He's like, no, I'm a Trump supporter. I'm a libertarian. I have a press pass. All this shit was, fucking vetted. And I even like, I'm glad I didn't make it that day because I looked at it, I said, I'm like, fuck, really again? Fuck again? And they were like, no. So I'm just gonna leave it alone. So the next day, it comes out that it wasn't what it was all meant up to be. Alex Jones had the guy on. Crowder talked about him. So I believe the guy. I don't think he's trying to like kill the president. I think he was just wrong person, wrong time. And since he's around, BLM and Antifa fucking activists all the fucking time, yeah, he carries guns in his fucking vehicle. So fuck you, Second Amendment. Keep and bear arms. If you look at the actual legal definitions of keep and bear, that means they can keep them concealed or not in their property or not, on the outside if they want. But nobody cares about the law when it comes to that shit. Anyways, I didn't want to touch too much on that one, but fuck, I did. So, oh well. But what I did want to talk about is, well, I watched Trump going to the Bloomberg. What is it? Economic Club Chicago or something like that. So it's a bunch of people in Chicago, and he fucking tore it up. He had to talk to this Bloomberg guy, and the guy's like all anti-tariff and most likely anti-Trump. And yeah, Trump just fucking yeah, Trump fucking bitched him. And so I took some notes, and I just wanted to well, actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just go ahead and pull it in, let you see the clip, and I'm gonna bitch about it because that's what I like to do. This is like what I like to do when I'm not working, because believe it or not, I love my job. My job is fucking fun as hell. You get a little banged up in it, but it comes with the territory. But yeah, I just want to. I love doing this too because it's like, you like meet news people or what have you, and you're trying to talk in front of people, like public speaking and shit. This is probably like one of the best things for you is to get out and fucking stream or do a podcast or what have you. I mean, you get to talk and you get to express your views without worrying about, what fucking people are going to say. And of course, you put it online, then you're going to get haters regardless. And I don't give a fuck if you get haters. I mean, I don't fucking care about haters. None of these haters are sucking my dick, so why do I care about what the fuck they say? And if anything, fucking just remove them or something like that. You don't need to listen to them. So like, if you got you've got the ability to stream or podcast or what have you, do it. It's fun. I think I'm getting off on a tangent here. I wanted to talk about trade. And what was Trump talking? Is trade and the trade war. And he was talking to this with this Bloomberg guy. I forgot what the guy's name was, but the guy he's a cheese dick, and Trump fucks him up. He really does. It's fucking funny. So we're gonna go ahead and start with that right now.
If she gets in, it'll start up again.
President Trump, I let you give your example. No, you talked a lot about tariffs. You look at the American economy, 40 million jobs rely on trade. It accounts for 27% of GDP.
Okay.
If you cut that off, that's also going to have an effect on many, many business people here.
Yeah.
Tariffs also have another side. Isn't that something that you have to acknowledge?
No.
You could be plunging America into the biggest trade war since Smoot-Hawley.
But there are no tariffs.
You're going to stop. There are tariffs already.
No, there are no tariffs. All you have to do is build your plant in the United States, and you don't have any tariffs.
People, a lot of places like this, there are a lot of jobs that rely on foreigners coming here. You're going to basically stop trade with China. You're talking about 60% trade on that, 60% tariffs on that. You're talking, as you said, 100, 200% on things you don't really like. You're also talking about 10, 20% tariffs on the rest of the world. that is going to have a serious effect on the overall economy. And yes, you're going to find some people who will gain from individual tariffs. The overall effect could be massive.
I agree. It's going to have a massive effect, positive effect. It's going to be a positive, not a negative.
Well,
let me just let me tell you. I know how committed you are to this, and it must be hard for you to spend 25 years talking about tariffs as being negative, and then have somebody explain to you that you're totally wrong. It'll have a negative. It will have.
That's another thing is Trump fucking rips this dude. And he's basically, he calls him stupid the whole time. And the guy does. He gets a little hostile with him. And he like tries to like correct him. He's like, oh, I'm going to fact check you. And then let's move on. I mean, you got to really watch the whole fucking thing. But no, Trump's right. It'll have a positive effect.
I'll go a step further. If you don't do this, this country has no chance.
40 million jobs is a lot of jobs to rely on.
They're all coming back. You've lost
jobs. Those are 40 million jobs in America that rely on trade.
Are you ready? John Deere, great company. They announced about a year ago they're going to build big plants outside of the United States, right? They're going to build them in Mexico.
And you threatened
they're also going to build.
They stopped.
That's right. I said, if John Deere builds those plants and not selling anything into the United States, they just announced yesterday they're probably not going to build the plants, okay? I kept the jobs here, and I'll keep John Deere will stay here. And I'll tell John Deere, if you do build outside of the United States, you can if you want. For instance, India is a very tough country. It's not only China. China is I would say, probably the toughest. But there are a lot of tough. You know what's very tough? European Union. Our beautiful European countries, wonderful, wonderful. If you add them up, they're almost the size of us. They treat us so
That's
badly.
important.
We have a deficit.
So that's really important. Literally, you can combine all the European Union, all the Western states up and put them into a box, and they still aren't the size of the United States. So France really doesn't have a way to argue with us about trade. Neither does Europe, like London, sorry, Europe, but fucking London, fucking Italy, none of those guys. Even China or Japan or what have you. You want to make a product, you bring it into our continent. It is so huge and there's so many people that your market will blow up. I mean, you will get a lot of money. People will buy your fucking products. And when we try to sell to like China or fucking France or Italy or Germany or fucking Europe or what have you, how many Corvettes do you see there? How many Chevrolets do you see there? I lived in Japan. I never saw one American car at all. Of course, that was like in 1999, I think. But you won't see nothing like that. So anyways, when he talks about, they're all of them combined they're not even close to us. That's true. There's like YouTube videos where people talk about they don't understand how big the United States is, and like they can get on a train and go from England to France to Germany to Italy all in the span of like 5 hours. Well, I can hop in my fucking car and drive down to Los Angeles, but that will fucking take me around 12, 13 hours. That's how big California is alone. We're huge. And there's all kinds of populations all in between, and they got money. They're living, they're making the minimum wage and whatever. The economy's good. They can afford your shit. And so, of course, if you're a small country like France and shit, yeah, you got your own French wine and shit, but you want to bottle it by the fucking by the millions to supply everybody in just one state alone, not alone spread out. So the American market is the best market out there. And all these other economies, they're even Russia. Russia has the economy of Italy, or has the GDP of Italy. And it's a huge fucking country. And like China, like when they talk about dumping steel and all that kind of shit, what China does, well, they don't have workers. They have slavery. They have slave labor. Just the truth. Anyways, I love it how Trump points it out. I'm sorry for interrupting. I'm going to go ahead and play some more of this. Let's see what we got here. Put it back here. All right, here we go.
Said to Angela Merkel when she was there, she's not there anymore. I wonder why. But when she was there, I said, Angela, how many Chevrolets do we have in Berlin? Why, Donald, you have none. He said, that's right. How many Fords do we have in Frankfurt? I don't know, none. I said, that's right. You know how many cars we have? Mercedes-Benz, BMW, all of the different Volkswagen, millions and millions of cars. And then I said, farm products. You know, they don't want our farm. They don't want anything from us. We have deficits that are crazy, and we're not going to have them anymore. We're going to put tariffs on
The
them.
shaking is not my fault.
They're going to do, and you know what they can do? The Mercedes-Benz will start building in the United States, and they have a little bit, but you know what they really are? Assembly, like in South Carolina. But they build everything in Germany, and then they assemble it here. They get away with murder because they say, oh, yes, we're building cars. They don't build cars. They take them out of a box and they assemble them. We could have our child do it.
Can we come back?
That's true. That is literally true. Like American, like the old A-frame vehicles and stuff. You know, you'd have to, have a ball joint press and all that shit to fucking remove the ball joints, and you gotta have a press to remove the upper control arm bushings, lower control arm bushings, and you could just buy a little $50 bushing or $40 bushing, whatever it is, the price. Press it in, press it out, and you get all the labor for that shit. When it comes to BMWs, you can't buy a ball joint and press it in. It is part of the lower control arm, so you got to buy the lower control arm. And literally, yeah, that's shipped in. Of course, AutoZone, Napa, what have you, even the dealerships, they always have that shit in stock, but they buy it from out of country. It is manufactured out of country. And so when he's talking about when they ship all these parts in, they're just an assembly line. That's all they are. They just assemble the parts. They didn't cast the engine. They didn't fucking forge the fucking control arms. They didn't fucking make the rubber. All that shit was done in these foreign countries. And so he's right about that. There's a lot of jobs lost just in that little aspect alone of manufacturing. And that's the stuff that we're good at. But when you take that away from us, we lose it, and the thing is, like, all that technology was started here. It really was. I mean, Carnegie steel and all that kind of shit, stainless steel and fucking all that kind of shit. Big industry, that was all started here in the assembly line. And like the only thing that they let us keep was the assembly line, because they'll just make the parts there, send it back to us, and then we'll put it together, put it to their specs. It's fucked up. Anyways, that's what I had for that one. But they go on to talk. I'm sorry, I'm gonna play a couple of these quotes, or a couple of these clips here. Cold War bullshit and our allies. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. We're going to go ahead and go here real quick.
Actually have a great military. We don't know how to use it, but we have a great military.
With great respect, I was asking about tariffs. You've gone off about that. Seeing you brought up tariffs and foreign policy, many people would say the biggest problem with your tariffs is actually geopolitics. You, in your first term, you got some credit for effectively saying that there was a Cold War against China. That's what America was in.
Pretty much.
You look at the last Cold War against the Soviet Union, America won it in part because it rallied allies to it. You're talking about slamming allies with 30%, 20% tariffs. Isn't this time you're going to end up trying to rally the West and you're dividing it instead? Isn't that the real problem with tariffs, even beyond all the problems to the economy, where you keep on bringing up these individual examples, but the overall effect is going to be dramatic?
No, the overall
answer first about foreign policy.
Yeah, I'll do that.
How does it help you take on China?
It helps
turning all your allies against
tremendously, because China thinks we're a stupid country, a very stupid country. They can't believe that somebody finally got wise to them. Not one president, Bush, Obama, Barack Hussein Obama, have you heard of him? Not one president, think of it, not one president charged China anything. They said, oh, they are.
Fuck Obama and Big Mike.
Third world nation, they're a developing. Well, we're a developing nation too. Take a look at Detroit. Take a look at our cities. We're a developing nation. We have to develop more than they do. We're way behind them. You take a look at what's happened to our cities. So what I'm saying is
my
this.
question was about your allies, not about China. You are going to annoy the
Our allies
to rally behind you.
But our allies have taken advantage of us more so than our enemies. Our allies are the European Union. We have a trade deficit of $300 billion with the European Union. Our allies are Japan. You know, Abe was a very good friend of mine. He was a great guy, great. And I said to him in Japan, he was assassinated. And he was a great man. He really was. I didn't see too many like him. And he got very sick and he had to take off. And then he was actually making a comeback. He was going to make a comeback and he would have won easily. But he was a great gentleman, handsome, wonderful man, respected by everybody. And I went to him and I said, Shinzo, we have to talk. What? Trade.
You know, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt this real quick, but I guess I will. When he says like a lot of our allies are screwing us over, that's true. I don't care if you're from Australia, England, Italy, France, what have you. If you guys fucking even Japan, Canada, Mexico, I don't give a fuck, dude. You guys are screwing us over. And it'll continue to do so. And I get it, allies is great. You know, having allies is a good thing. But when you look at the United Nations and you look at all the other countries in the world, they're not free. They're not a free republic. They don't have a government that has a constitution that says, hey, we look after the individual, the little guy. And so that's why, and Americans look around and they go, what the fuck is going on? You know, where's my rights? Where's my freedoms? All this other kind of shit. Why are these people talking this way? Like our own, you know, fucking Democratic Party, like, oh, we need to take your guns and oh, we're not going to certify this election. It's because the rest of the world has dictators. All of them. The rest of the world has monarchs, dictators. They have kings. They have prime ministers, and from what they say goes, you know, and it's all that kind of shit. I get it. We're not as free and as fair as we would think we are, but that's because we've been eroded by this rot that is like globalism, this infestation. And it's like, oh no, we need to conform with the globe. You know what? Fuck that. Everybody from your countries tries to get to here to have some sort of fucking freedom that they definitely don't get in your fucking country. So fuck the rest of the globe. No. I think if you want globalism, I will agree to globalism when they fucking adopt our Constitution and our Bill of Rights. And of course, before we fucking clean house. I mean, you got to have like, you got to like go through these guys like a fine tooth comb. It's a fucking blessing to get Donald Trump. I hated the Bushes. The Bushes were fucking Nazis. The Republican Party was fucking full of them. Same thing with the Democrats. They were fucking just evil. Look at the Democrats right now. The mask is off. I don't have to say nothing about the Democrats. They're showing you who they are. And the fact that they have Dick Cheney, Liz Cheney, George Bush, Barack Obama, they're all like everybody in the whole government from the past before Trump is in line with Kamala Harris, the stupidest fucking person in the world. Heels up Harris, cackles McKnee pads, the fucking slut from San Francisco. That's what you're seeing right now. And so, well, you know, it's like, okay, so I hope the rest of the world endorses her. Go ahead. You're making my point for globalism. Donald Trump is the only one talking about the fucking individual, the American worker, and what we fucking go through, what we struggle through. Kamala Harris is like, of course, I came from a middle class family. The bitch grew up in Montreal, Canada. She was born, I guess, here, but she's fucking grew up in fucking Canada in one of the most prestigious all white fucking upper class neighborhoods. She never grew up in a middle class neighborhood. She's been sucking dick for position the whole fucking time. And I honestly think that's how she got the vice presidency. I bet you she went down and fucking pedo Pete Joe Biden. And that's why Jill Biden's really pissed off at her. It's like, because one, she called him a racist in that first debate. And then she came to his house in the middle of the night, sucked his fucking cock. Jill probably got it on fucking videotape, even though it pissed her off, but blackmail. And And there she is, vice president. And now she's like, well, and Joe Biden's like, I don't need to fucking, everybody knows that you suck dick, so I don't need to release it. It's okay. I'm not even there anyway. So just going to keep up with the facade of being mentally ill. Anyways, my bad. That's my rant. But fuck them, All right, here, go back to this.
And he goes, I'll never forget it. I know. I said, what do you know? I knew you'd come to me. Why do you say that? Because I can't believe, I wouldn't tell the story if he was alive, actually. He said, I can't believe how many years it's been that nobody even negotiated with us in America. I said, Shinzo, you have to pay for your cars. You're sending millions of cars. You don't accept a car from us. You don't have one car that you accept, and yet we're selling 3 million, 4 million of your cars. I said, Shinzo, on agriculture, you won't even accept our agriculture. And I renegotiated a whole trade deal from a little disadvantage because I was stuck with a bad deal. I mean, I got stuck. We have trade deals that were so bad that I said, who are the people that are doing it? They're either very stupid or they're getting paid off, okay? It's one or the other. It's very simple. We have the worst trade deals all over the world. South Korea, I love South Korea. They're wonderful people, extremely ambitious. They have a money machine. We protect them from North Korea and other people. North Korea is very nuclear. I got along with him very well, Kim Jong-un.
Yes.
But wait, they don't pass anything. And I said, this is crazy. If I didn't put tariffs on, the motor companies, the car companies, they make most of their money at small trucks. I put tariffs on China, but I put 27.5%. Otherwise, we'd be flooded with Chinese cars, and all of our factories would close. We'd have no jobs at all in the auto industry. That goes for electric, by the way, which is a killer, which I've explained, and I don't think I have to bore anybody by talking about it. But I put tariffs on South Korea because they were sending in trucks, and I put tariffs on, fairly substantial tariffs. Do you know that our car companies make almost all of their money with the small trucks, SUVs and small trucks? If I took those tariffs on, you would be inundated. Every car company would be out of business. And I got calls from Ford. I got calls from everybody saying, sir, I can't believe you're doing this for us. You saved our company. They make all their money with us. They make most of their money with the small truck and, the SUVs.
Many consumers ended up with more expensive cars. But let me just come at you on foreign policy.
You wouldn't have a car company.
You have.
And you know what? The cars. Let me just say something about the fucking cars today. Fuck the cars that they make today. They are so full of electronics and all this kind of shit. Nowadays they got electronic steering, and I've literally had people come up and they're like, "Oh, my truck's dying, and I can't fucking steer the thing, and I almost wrecked with my kids in the back." And it's like, "Oh, your battery's dying, dude. Fucking put a battery in it." What do you mean? How does the battery affect my steering? It's electronic steering. Of course, you can't steer the fucking thing when the battery's dying or when the fucking alternator's out. I mean, it's just so fucking stupid. And of course, they got the OnStar, General Motors, they can track you wherever you're at, and they can fucking shut your vehicle down in case somebody stole it. But wait till fucking all of a sudden you're driving, you said something bad about the government, you're driving down the fucking freeway, your car shuts down, the fucking Gestapo hops out, fucking locks you up because they locked you in the car as well, and it's your own fucking vehicle, and then they'll tow it away and fucking charge you for the tow, even though they went, my bad, wrong person. I mean, there's so much fucking bullshit with new cars. They don't last as long. I got a fucking, I drive a 93 fucking, Chevy Blazer with a fucking 350. That motherfucker, it's had two motors, because the boss, I got it from the boss, and he replaced the motors twice, and he replaced the fucking transmissions like twice. But it has 400,000 miles on the fucking chassis. Still fucking runs great. Passes smog. Tune it up every now and then. Change the fucking oil. Fucking thing's good to go. I would, I got a 97 fucking what the fuck is it? Pontiac Grand Am. And that motherfucker has like all kinds of weird hydraulic ABS fucking shit coming off the master cylinder itself. I dread the day the master cylinder goes out because now I got to fucking take all that shit off of it, put a new master cylinder, and then look at the bleeding procedures and hope I don't fuck nothing up. Oh God, I got a 67 Chevelle Maybelline. You know, we got to start a GoFundMe page for her. Like I said, I would love to fucking get that fucking thing back and running on the road. I took it to Arizona twice. I drove it to fucking Reno and back. I fucking love that car. I rebuilt the 327 in it. I rebuilt the 2-speed Power Glide in it, but the fucking thing is in really bad shape. It needs interior, all that shit just completely gone through. Fucking make that thing immaculate. I could literally, I could spend a couple $1,000s on that fucking thing, making it immaculate inside and out. I'll paint the fucking thing myself, and it would last so much longer than anything you bought nowadays. You go ahead and buy that 2025 fucking car, that 2020 fucking 6 car. I don't give a fuck, dude. You're gonna have it on a lease. As soon as you pull it off the fucking the lot, it's gonna depreciate in value. The fucking parts are designed to go out within 100,000 miles or less. And I got a 67 Chevelle that literally I just parked it. I really did. It's just been parked for too long. And I got to go out there and like see whether or not the motor's frozen. If so, shit needs to be rebuilt. But there's a lot of things I could just do with that car to fucking make it perfect. And so much less than what you guys would spend on your fucking brand new Subarus or whatever the fuck you want to buy. And mine will last longer. Mine will last another 30 years. Those cars were meant to go forever. The parts were so much, the car was just designed better. You know, and yours is like a little fucking plastic teacup or what have you. Mine's fucking straight iron. Fucking, I can get a fucking in a head-on collision with you. I'll survive. You won't. It's fucking funny. But anyways, go back to this shit. Well, anyways, we're done with this. We're done with this one. So I wanted to. What else? What was he talking about here? Let me look at my full remarks. Oh yeah. So this is where fucking Trump just unloads on this motherfucker. I'm gonna find it here. 2640. He fucking just calls this guy a cocksucker, and he should. It's one of the reasons why we all love Donald Trump, but here.
So they're going to drive up interest rates. Are the investors wrong?
Yeah, I had 4 years no inflation. But
that was when you had much.
I had 4 years. It's better than that. And Biden, who has no idea where the hell he is, okay? Biden went 2 years with no inflation because he inherited from me. And then they started spending money like drunken sailors. They spent so much money. It was so ridiculous, the money they were spending. They were spending on the Green New Scam. The Green New Deal. It was.
That's true. The fucking Inflation Reduction Act, even Biden admits, and don't make me fucking go into YouTube and look for it, but even Biden admitted that the Inflation Reduction Act that was at a deadlock in Congress, and Kamala was sent there to fucking do the tie-breaking vote for it. That was all Green New Deal policies, and it actually did the opposite. Well, like every bill they fucking pass, it did the opposite of what it says. So the Inflation Reduction Act, actually, with the tie-breaking vote of Kamala Harris, she's the one that ultimately signed off on the fucking thing, was the thing that drove up inflation massively. And not to mention, it hired 80,000 IRS agents. And when Trump talks about no tax on tips, that's because that little part was included in the Inflation Reduction Act, that these fucking IRS agents are now going to go after people that are getting tips and tax their tips. So when all you fucking people that are like haircut people or bartenders or what have you, when you're like fucking valet, lot attendant, circus, what's up, bro? When you guys bitch about fucking your tips being taxed and that you got to declare them and everything like that, thank Kamala Harris, because that was the Inflation Reduction Act that did that to you. So Yeah, congrats. If you voted for, if you voted Democrat, it's your fucking fault, not mine.
Conceived of by AOC +3. She never even studied the environment in college. She went to a nice college. She came out, she just said, the Green New Scam. She just named all these things.
President Trump, the issue, the markets are looking at the facts. You are making all these promises. Latest one was car loans. You're flooding the thing with giving giveaways.
But we're going to grow.
I was actually quite kind to you. I used 7 trillion. The upper estimate is 15 trillion. People like the Wall Street Journal, who's hardly a communist organization,
yeah, but you don't know.
They have criticized you on this as well. You are running up enormous.
It's going to happen.
What does the Wall Street Journal know? I'm meeting with them tomorrow. What does the Wall Street Journal know? They've been wrong about everything. So have you, by the way. You've been wrong about it.
You're trying to turn this. You're trying to turn this.
You've been wrong about it.
No, you're trying to turn this into debate. There are business people.
Do you hear how people just applauded him? Because he has been wrong about everything. He's a fucking economist. So you got on one side an economist, on the other side a fucking billionaire that fucking knows how to run a business in the world. He's all over the world. He's all over the world. This guy fucking works for Bloomberg, and he's like, I'm an economist, and he's got that British accent, and it's like, fuck you, dude. I just want to punch you in your face just because you're fucking snooty. The guy's just a cocksucker. He really is. But you got the cocksucker versus the fucking billionaire fucking ex-president of the United States. Who knows who's what, who knows who's talking about the right thing, or who knows who's talking, you know what the fuck I'm saying. This guy is full of shit. Trump, he knows what the fuck he's talking about. And he's like, oh, and when Trump's like, you're wrong about everything. Yeah, you're right. He was.
But you're wrong. You've been wrong. You've been wrong all your life on this stuff. You've been wrong. No, let me tell you about currency. You're gonna, you're going jumping a lot of different.
I really hope that destroys his fucking career because your whole life you've been wrong. You fucking stiff.
Subject.
The
reserve currency. No, let's stick to reserve currency. That's where you started, right? The reserve currency is under threat. Because you have Iran, you have Russia, you have China. China's the one that you have to worry about because they want it.
Yeah.
They want to have the yuan be the thing of power. So here's what I'm doing. Again, I hate to go back to it. If somebody says, and I know countries want to get out because they don't respect our leadership. They look at this guy, they say, you got to be kidding. And she's worse than him. By the way, I never thought I'd say this. She is not as smart as Biden, if you can believe. This is not what we had 4 years of this lunacy, and we can't have it anymore. We're not going to have a country left. Okay, currency, very important. And if you want to go to third world, status, lose your reserve currency. We have to have that. We cannot lose it. If you'll go to third world status in this country because you take a look at the way things are running. If a country tells me, sir, we like you very much, but we're going to no longer adhere to being in the reserve currency. We're not going to salute the dollar anymore. I'll say, that's okay. And you're going to pay a 100% tariff on everything you sell into the United States. And we love your product. I hope you sell a lot of it into the United States, but you're going to pay 100% tariff. He will then follow it up by saying, sir, it would be an honor to stay with the reserve currency. That will be like just playing. That's not even chess, that's checkers. But you don't.
He's right. He's right. That's how you fucking do it. You fucking tell those cocksuckers, hey man, you either play ball with us or you don't get into our market. I mean, China cannot be their world reserve currency because their labor is all slave labor and half their people are fucking forbidden to fucking do shit like we can. They're forbidden to you buy something big in China. You'll have the fucking CCP down your fucking throat. They're an evil government. That's a dictatorship. And funny how a lot of our politicians praise them, like Tim Waltz. Well, I've been to China like 30 times, but there's nothing bad going on there. Yeah, sure, dude. Fucking douchebag. Yeah, I had like one more I wanted to look for. The peaceful transfer of power. Every single fucking left-wing douchebag likes to bring this up. And the peaceful transfer of power is simple. Trump already did that. He had every right to fucking contest the election. He had every right to send a different slate of electors to the Electoral College and fucking go, hey, we want this fraud looked at. And I'll do a fucking video on the fraud. I'll scour the internet. I'll show you all kinds of shit that happened, during that day that they don't want you to fucking see. Truckloads being delivered the middle of the night, bitch pulling out a suitcase, them running it 4 fucking times in Georgia. There's so many fucking things that happened that night. And it was all, COVID. Look at the attorney, Mark Elias. Look at that cocksucker. Look at what he did during the 2020 elections, the cases he argued in court. That motherfucker is, if I was president, or if I was ever in power, or if I was attorney general, treason. Grab that motherfucker, liquidate all his assets, make sure his kids are homeless and poor for the rest of their fucking lives because he's a fucking cheese dick, and then hang him for treason, shoot him in the head, and then fucking send the bill to his fucking family and say that's what happens when your daddy's a traitor. Because that's what that cocksucker is. Like, oh, I'm a Democratic lawyer operative. No, you're not. You're a fucking scumbag, and you fucking manipulated the Constitution. You manipulated your fucking you manipulated the fucking laws for the election in 2020. And there's more than that. It's not just that fucking douchebag. However, he was crucial in the whole, it's COVID. So we need the mail-in ballots, and we got to make sure that we go extra days after and count. Man, the 2020 fucking elections was the only election I've ever seen in my life as an American. I don't know about you dipshits, if this is your first fucking election in 2020, that it went over fucking a day to fucking count. Oh, fucking it went fucking 3 weeks to fucking count. And it's no, dude, it's all the mail-in ballots. We can't count them all. Fuck you. You guys know what you fucking did. And yeah, I hope when Trump gets back in office, I hope he has a fucking investigation unit to fucking comb through the 2020 election. And if it leads up to congressional offices and it leads up to lawyers like Mark Elias, which I know it will, yeah, I want to see them prosecuted for treason. After what the Biden administration has done in the last 3.5, 4 years is fucking treason. If you enabled that fraud to allow these cocksuckers to get into our fucking government and fuck everything over like they did, and my nephew fucking pays the price, 13 fucking military service members pays the price in Afghanistan, along with 60 others that had their fucking limbs blown off. Yes, you're fucking traitors. You're no better than the Rosenbergs. You need to be fucking killed. You need to be fucking executed. And at the same time, all your assets liquidated. Any family fortune that you have here in the United States, we're going to use that to pay off the fucking taxes. Put that on the fucking national debt. I don't care if it only fucking reduces it by 0.25%. I don't give a fuck. Done. Fucking traitors. And then let's get this fucking country back on track, because it's cocksuckers like that has fucked everything up. You know it. I know it. What are we going to do about it? We're going to fucking vote for Donald Trump, and we're going to hope that he fucking puts a proper attorney general in there and everything gets gone through with a fine-tooth comb. All these motherfuckers need to be fired. They need to be gone through, looked at. General Milley, when his I had to talk to my Chinese counterpart, let him know that I had the nuclear codes, and Donald Trump can't launch nuclear war with you because of the election. So the Chinese had something to do with the election? What are you saying, General Milley? Sounds like you're a fucking traitor. So I think a lot of these people need to be tortured first, not waterboarded. And I know torture is illegal or what have you. No, we should torture them. Fuck them. Let's go Viet Cong style. Let's pull out their fucking fingernails, or put bamboo shoots in them, Let's fucking ass rape them with a fucking spiked fucking log. Let's fuck these people up, beat them unconscious, wake them up, deprive them of sleep. Let's do the most horrible fucking things to them. Then get them to confess. Works for other countries. As a matter of fact, let's fucking get the CIA head and fucking do the same thing to them. I bet you they know a lot of shit. We'll take their own book and turn it against them. And then when they're all dead, take all their wealth, transfer it to the national debt, and leave their fucking families poor and homeless. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if they got like little children and grandchildren. They're all like fucking just trying to get through like the rest of us. Guess what? Your granddaddy helped you. Helped that. Fuck them. They get what they deserve. I mean, every single time Hillary Clinton fucking speaks a word in public, I just want to fucking smack the bitch. It's the same thing with Kamala. What was that one bitch that was like trying to go against Trump? The one fucking stupid bitch. I forgot her name. I said it the other day when I was on podcast, like, motherfucker, that stupid bitch. It was like her or Ron DeSantis. But, you know, like Liz Cheney's another one. Smack that bitch. I mean, we need to get back into fucking smacking bitches because these fucking people deserve it. And a lot of these people are bitches. All right, go back to this. Sorry about that, but I'm not really sorry. Fuck these people.
Don't have other. Listen to this. You don't have other people that can talk that way. You know, a lot of people say we love Trump's policy.
Oh wait. Sorry. I was getting back to the. I wrote everything down because I watched it first, and I'm like, what would be good points to talk about? And so here I am. Peaceful transfer of power. Here we are. Let's get to this shit. I mean, it pisses me off when people talk about the peaceful transfer of power because it fucking happened. He isn't the president, is he? Fucking douchebags. Here.
When you did the tariff and you saved thousands of jobs, and my company is now doing very well, and he started to cry. And this guy hasn't cried too much, I will tell you. He said, you saved my company. There's nobody that could have done that.
Maybe I can ask you then about something else. Yeah. Business people here in this room, business people, capital markets, they all like the rule of law. They like certainty. The Chinese, who you mentioned, other dictators,
right?
They don't like it when things go wrong. They like it when things go wrong in America. If you look at the events of January the 6th, 2021, it showed to many people America's democracy was unruly and violent. Only 3 weeks to go to the election. Will you commit now to respecting and encouraging a peaceful transfer of power?
Well, you had a peaceful transfer of power.
You had a peaceful transfer of power. You had a peaceful... Come on, President.
See how everybody clapped? Because, yes, he did have a peaceful transfer of power. And this guy right here is a cheese dick. He's like, come on, no, it wasn't. It's like, yeah, it was. He said peacefully and patriotically go to the fucking Capitol. He didn't say go ransack the fucking office and take Nancy Pelosi's head. Maybe they should have. Because when we go back and look at the January 6th things, like with the pipe bomb issues, you know, the pipe bombs they don't want to talk about that was discovered at the DNC and the RNC. And by the way, the one that was discovered at the DNC, Kamala Harris was in that building as the vice president-elect. Not in the Capitol, like she said, which is kind of weird. And then she won't capitalize on it saying, oh my God, you know, I almost got killed by these violent protesters on January 6th. They planted a pipe bomb right in the building that I was. She never says that. Isn't that curious? I wonder why. And then, you know, you got to look into go to Revolver News and look at the pipe bomb controversy that Darren Beattie has fucking gone into. It'll just blow your mind. That shows you the whole fucking thing was a setup. You got the fucking FBI agents in the crowd. You got fucking Capitol Police shooting at protesters, shooting tear gas into their own ranks to confuse them. And then you got the whole fucking, what was that one fucking cheese dick's name? It's going to escape me. But there's one cheese dick that was like, oh, we're going to go into the building. We got to storm the fucking Capitol. And everybody's like, you're a fucking Fed. Ray Epps. Oh, that motherfucker. I don't care. No, you know, he's like, oh, he only got six months of probation. Okay. Yeah, he's not a fucking informant. You know what? I would find another fucking charge similarly to fucking what he did, because they're gonna try to go like, you can't charge him again because of double jeopardy. No, charge him with treason. Charge him with subversion. Don't, look at what they charged him with and then charge him with something else right along those lines. Because all these motherfuckers, fucking the guy on the tower fucking yelling to the people, rush the Capitol, rush the Capitol. There is so much shit that was going on January 6th. I dare you spend an hour on the internet looking into the January 6th conspiracy, and you'll be fucking blown away. What, and this is the same, this guy right here, this cocksucker right here is like, oh, peaceful transfer of power. What does this cocksucker really know? Because if you saw the same shit that I did and you actually looked at the evidence like the shit I did, you'd know this motherfucker's a liar. But anyways, I'm fucking start. Fuck you, you fucking Bloomberg fucking cunt. Fucking limey cunt.
President Trump, you had a peaceful transfer of power compared with Venezuela, but it was by far the worst transfer of power for a long time.
What a douchebag.
Thank you. I appreciate that, because this is what they like to do. This is what they like to do. It's very interesting.
Question, President Trump, is
the answer is you're a fucking douchebag. I love the fact that Trump's like, no, this is what they do. This is what they always do. He's just showing how slimy this little fucking person is. What a fucking cocksucker. You suck cock, and so does your fucking wife. And she didn't suck in your cock. She's sucking some other fucking dude's cock because you're a fucking little bitch.
Would you respect the decision?
When I found out about this interview, I did a little check. He's a man that has not been a big Trump fan over the years. So I had a choice.
Yeah, no shit.
Do I do this interview or not? I'm glad I did it. But do I do this interview or do I disappoint a lot of people? Because I know a lot of people in the audience. But his view is very different than mine. Let me just tell you.
I'm asking
March, we had a term, peacefully and patriotically. These were people. If you think an election is crooked, and I do, 100%, if you think the day it comes when you can't protest, you take a...
See him get that little smile on his face? He's like, and I do, 100%. Yeah. Guess what, cocksucker? I'm sorry. My YouTube and Rumble channels aren't for like the faint of heart. I don't fucking say, hey, let your kids watch my shit, because I do curse. And, I was a sailor. I was an auto mechanic. I'm Irish. There's a lot going against me. I will fucking swear like a motherfucker. And this guy is a cocksucker. And literally when he goes, yeah, I do believe that fucking election was stolen. He goes, hey, yeah, that's right. That's right. You wanted that sound bite? So did I. So did I. I do believe the last election was fucking rigged. It was rigged so fucking bad. And so when this guy goes, yeah, no, what are you trying to convince people that it wasn't? I was there. I watched it. I was up at 3 a.m. Like, I went to bed. Trump's got it. Woke up. What the fuck? Trump lost? Yeah. This guy's a fucking prick. Anyways.
Take a look at the Democrats. They protested 2016. They're still protesting it. Nobody talks about them. But if we protest, we want to have honest elections. You think the last election was honest?
Do you think it was the times it went to court? The court decided.
No, it didn't go. They went to court, and the courts all said you don't have standing. Nobody had standing, and it's hard, frankly, after an election for a judge. But they all said you don't. Nobody ever had standing. But the facts, if you take a look, I'd show you hundreds of pages of facts. People were angry. People went there. And I'll tell you what, they never show that. The primary scene in Washington was hundreds of thousands, the largest group of people I've ever spoken before. And I've spoken before. And it was
love
and peace. And some people went to the Capitol. And a lot of strange things happened there. A lot of strange things with people being waved into the Capitol by police, with people screaming, go in, with that never got into trouble. I don't want to mention names, but who.
He's talking about Ray Epps and the other FBI and fucking Secret Service agents that were inside the crowd dressed as fucking Trump supporters and also Antifa people, for some reason coordinating with the government, even though it was the Trump administration, fucking ushering people into the fucking building. And that's what he's fucking talking about. And fuck. If you don't know it, just fucking look at the evidence.
Who they are. A lot of strange things happen. But you had a peaceful, very peaceful. I left the morning that I was supposed to leave. I went to Florida, and you had a very peaceful transfer. This was not a, and I'll tell you what, those people that did go dead, which was a tiny fraction of the people that went to Washington. I mean, you're talking about a very, very small, because hundreds of thousands of people, and I don't know what you had, 500, 600, 700 people go down to the Capitol. But those people, that was not.
And that's another thing, you know, there was like hundreds of thousands of people. Like it was an astronomical event. A lot of people descended on the fucking Washington, D.C. that day. And they were there fucking chanting and protesting fucking days before January 6th, a couple days before. I think Trump even put it out, tweet like, "We hear you, and you know we're here for you." It was something weird like that, but there was only like 500-600 people that like actually surrounded the Capitol and tried to enter it, and a lot of them were ushered in, and a lot of them were just wandered in and like, oh, okay, we can go walk in there. And like the DOJ fucking got a hard on for these people and started going after them. But when, in all reality, when you look at all the instances that happened at the Capitol, I'm going to say 50, 60 people should have really been charged for what happened. It was a fucking disgrace. And then they threatened all the fucking Trump, Trump supporters and shit like that. And then like when Biden accepted the presidency and he like did his little motorcade down Washington, D.C., all the National Guard that were finally there that they let in, they all turned their back to him. I would have too. As a matter of fact, I would have, since that happened, like I would have like, no, I'm not going to serve no more. Here's I'm putting in my fucking 2 cents. I'm out. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. I'm out, bitch. And that's what I would have done. If I was in the military when that happened, I would have been like, nope. I'm out. I wouldn't have fucking stood for it.
One of those people had a gun. Nobody was killed except for Ashley Babbitt. She was killed.
Yeah, Ashley Babbitt was killed.
She was shot in the head by a policeman that what he did was horrible.
President Trump.
So
still walking free to this day. His fucking guy's name's like Bird or something like that. Guy fucking actually left his loaded Glock in a bathroom once, and like it was like major news. And somehow he was able to keep his job, all that kind of shit. And he was the douchebag that shot a fucking 130-pound girl climbing through a fucking window with unarmed. She was in like, I got a bomb. Oh, no. No, she wasn't like that. She was like, blah, blah, blah. And somebody's like, crawl through the window. And she's like, yeah, I'll fucking go through the window. And that motherfucker shot her. And yet fucking the Democrats will hail him as a hero. No. Murder. Give him second degree, what have you, but murder. I would give him the death penalty personally. I mean, the way that he fucking acted. Yeah. Sickening. Well, I'm not going to go too much into this. I've already spent a lot of time on this and I got to go to bed soon. So I just want to like start with the beginning of this. Oh wait, I'm not on the one with the beginning. They asked both Donald and fucking Kamala fucking to come to this event and talk to everybody. Kamala refused because she doesn't know what the fuck economics is. he would this cheese dick right here would ask her. So he would ask her a hardball question like, their economy and inflation's really fucking bad. What are you going to do about it? And she'd be like, well, first off, I grew up in a middle class family, and so I will never abandon the middle. And he won't even go like, yeah, so how you gonna do it, bitch? He wouldn't even fucking say that. He'll do this shit to Trump. But if Kamala was there, she could only be there for like 20 minutes. Tell us how she was like a fucking middling, growing up in the middle class, and how she's black or something. I don't know. It fucking blows my mind how fucking people can still be for this bitch. And and I applaud Trump. Thank you, Mr. President. Good job. Do I have a clapping thing? Do I got a hooray thing here on that? Let me look. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Trump. Good job. Anyways, thank you all very much for tuning in if you did. And like I said, like, subscribe. Find me on Rumble. Find me on YouTube. And I'll see you next time.